Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, Dinner with Tresha, a channel for joyful cooking. Today I'm making Jamaican oxtail, but I'm making Jamaican oxtail with a twist. Traditionally in Jamaica, they will make oxtail on Sundays with rice and peas, but today I'm doing Jamaican oxtail and serving with something completely different. I'll teach you the steps in making the oxtail and I hope you will enjoy. Please remember to subscribe to my channel and click on the bell to get our notifications. Welcome to the channel, Dinner with Tresha. Are you guys ready to cook? Who's hungry? You gotta feed your stomach, but you also gotta feed your eyes. Are you ready to do some cooking? Let's get this started. Hey guys, what I'm going to be using to season my oxtail today, I'm going to be using some pimento, I'm going to be using some thyme, I'm also going to be using some scallion. I have 2 stalks of scallion here, they're really huge, they're not tiny. I'm going to be using 1 carrot, and also a medium-sized onion and pepper, hot pepper. That's actually hot pepper. So I have 2 pounds of oxtail inside here. It's been washed. I washed it with water, then I wash it with some vinegar because I actually like doing that. Then I'm gonna put some salt, some sea salt. I'm gonna be using some pepper. I use browning, which gives it the brown color that you always see. And also I'm gonna be using multi-purpose seasoning. So now I've added the onion, I've added the scallion, I've added the pimento, the garlic inside here, and I put some of that browning, the caramel on the oxtail so that it will have some color. And we're gonna let this sit for an hour, 2 hours, depending on how flavorful or how deep you want the flavors to be soaked in, I should say. And you're ready to go. Now I'm gonna be using a Dutch pot. Some people will be using a pressure cooker because oxtail can take some time to cook. It can take 2 hours, it can take 3 hours. It depends on how tender the meat is. But for me, I like to use my Dutch pot to cook my meat and cook it for a while, like slow cook it for a while. So for me, the oxtail, I'm heating up. The pot is almost there. I'm going to be using some oil, some vegetable oil. I'm using, this is exactly 2 tablespoons of oil because I don't really like to have a lot of oil inside there. So I'm going to wait till that get a little bit heated up. Whenever I want to test it, I put some garlic in there. This is garlic from inside the seasoned meat that I'm using to test it, so that sounds very good. The next step is I'm going to be adding all my oxtail inside here with the seasoning. I'm gonna cover it. I'm gonna leave it there. Check it every 15 minutes to make sure it's being cooked nicely and not burn, or maybe you need to tip some water inside there every so often. So here we go. So as you can see, I've added my oxtail with the seasoning inside here. This is the first step. This is what it looks like. Typically, if it needs water, I don't put a lot of water in it. I tip like say half cup or a quarter cup of water each time. Right now, I'm not gonna add any in there yet. I'm gonna let it cook in its own juice and a little bit of vegetable oil that's inside there. It smells awesome already. So right now, I'm gonna just leave the oxtail inside here. I'm gonna come back and check it in 15 minutes. I'm not gonna turn the flames too high. This is gonna go on a little bit of heat, say medium heat on your stove, and I'm gonna cover it up and I'm gonna leave it for 15 minutes and then we'll come back. So now 1 hour has passed, so I'm gonna check my pot. make sure I boiled my water because I'm adding hot water to my pot. So I'm gonna take some from the kettle and measure it out. It's like I have a quarter of a cup inside here. So I'm gonna add a quarter of water. I'm gonna cover the meat, and this is piping hot water that I'm putting in there because my mom told me that when you're cooking meat, you should always add warm or hot water in it. It helps the meat. Because when you add cold water, it makes your meat a bit tough. So right now, I'm adding hot water inside here. So it's cooking real nicely. 1 hour has passed. The meat is still not so much tender, but this is what happens when you cook it in a Dutch pot and not your pressure cooker. If you prefer, you can always use your pressure cooker and you just time it, but I prefer the slow cooking, so this is what I'm doing today. It's now 2 hours and the meat is it's tender. So I'm gonna be adding my second batch of seasoning. I normally do 2. I do the first seasoning when when I'm just preparing the meat and let that soak in. Then now I'm adding another medium-sized onion, some more scallion, some more thyme, a little bit more pimento, and now I'll add in my carrots inside here also. So now I'm adding in some carrots, and I'm gonna let this simmer. I'm gonna also add some butter. I'm adding some butter inside here. I like to add butter, it gives it a nice flavor also. So now I've added my carrots, I've added my second batch of seasoning, and we're gonna let that cook for another half an hour or so. Look at that, it looks delicious, it smells awesome, and I know this is the long way, but I rather the flavor that you actually get from cooking it this way. It's so much better cooking it this way. I know the pressure cooker is fast, but for me, I think it's way more flavorful when you do it this way. So I do the first batch of seasoning, and then now I did my second batch, and it looks awesome. I add the exact same seasoning in it, and the meat is very tender. It's gonna be falling off the bones. I'll give it another half an hour. So that's it. That's it there. Beautiful, isn't it? Smells awesome. It's great. And now you have an oxtail dinner. Smells so good, you can tell. I put my second set of seasoning inside there. It's bubbling beautifully. Look at how beautiful that is. Look how beautiful that is. Beautiful, rich color. And this is 3 hours worth of cooking. This has been cooking for 3 hours. Nice and slow. The meat is tender. It smells awesome. And you got that beautiful flavor. Jamaican Oxtail. Jamaican Oxtail. So now we're going to plate it and we're going to show you the final product. Let's have some dinner, guys.